Hello everyone, I'm Lynette and this is Grammy Crochet and this will be Crocheter number 224. So I want to thank you for joining me in the dining room again. Sorry, if you watched my video yesterday, I'm telling you I'm trying to redo the yarn room a little bit, so so there. So anyway, I'd like to thank you for joining me. If you're new to my channel, I hope you like the content and you want to come back and hit the subscribe button. If you have been around for a long time, thanks for coming back again. I do appreciate it. I have just a few things. Yesterday, first, reminders. Yesterday, I did a video and there's a giveaway. So if you didn't watch it, go watch it. So that was yesterday, and I learned a new Tunisian stitch. And so I made this little washcloth, and it's just, I don't know, it's yarn that was given to me. I believe it's cotton, and it's just wound up into a ball with no, and I didn't sew in my end. But this is what it looks like, and I think it's really cool. This is the double crochet stitch is what the video said it was, and I will link the video below. They were making a top. I am not making the top. I don't think I'm like that good. It's a summer top, and out of this yarn I used a 7mm hook. You can see it's very holey, which would be nice for a summer top made out of cotton. Obviously, I wouldn't make it out of this cotton because this is kitchen cotton, but, you know, if you put a cami underneath or whatever, but then would it be too hot? I don't know. So I didn't know that I really liked this stitch for a top. In the wintertime, maybe as an over, but anyway, enough of that. So you do a double crochet, and then you do you start with a knit stitch. You do one row of knit and then one row of double crochet and then one row of knit, one row of double crochet. And I learned that when you do the knit stitch, it tends to want to roll, and then you have to like put borders or block or border and block, because the knit stitch tends to roll with Tunisian. I don't know about regular knitting, but I hear that's a problem with Tunisian. This did not roll at all. I did put a border. It's just a half double crochet, and I used a regular 7mm hook with it. And like I said, I didn't crochet in the end. But I think, and this is the back side, so you get this ribbing on the back side, which could be kind of cool too. You know, add some texture if you wanted it to be the front side, I guess. I don't know. But it would be, you know, good if you were scrubbing, because you've got texture on that side, because this side's kind of holey as far as washcloth goes. But I think the stitch is really cool. It didn't take long to, you know, figure it out and work it up. I will link the video, like I said, that I used to teach me that stitch, and I liked it so much, and I like the idea of it so much because I think it's so cool. Like I said, I don't think that I want to make a top out of it, but I'm thinking fall shrug. So I started this, and I'm using, this is Sweet Divinity in the color Blush, and I am using a 7mm hook, which is this purple one of mine, for the straight hook. And for the original cast on and the original row, not a problem, but I can see that as it gets bigger, because I did make it, it's like 43 inches, I think, was my original and it's not long enough really to see much of what the stitch is going to look like or how much curling it's going to do, but it's not curling a whole ton. I've got like now 2 rows of the double crochet, so the next stitch will be not double the knit stitch, and so it does curl a little, but we'll see how it goes. And I think it would be a really, my plan is for this to be a 3/4, like to here, you know, just 3/4 length sleeve on a shrug. I don't want it to be too long. I don't want it to be too saggy or anything. And I don't want it all the way to my wrists. So this is what it's looking like. And like I said, this is Sweet Divinity in the color blushing. I don't have, oh, maybe I did put the label in here. I don't want to really take the yarn out of the bag because it's, you know, Sweet Divinity has issues. There's 700 as oh wait, I do have it in here. Okay, hold on. This was on clearance last year. And it's called Blush. And there's 243 yards. It's 80% acrylic and 20% nylon. And this, they say it's a number 4. But I'm going to tell you, it's pretty thin for a 4. I would call it more, oh, come on, focus. I would call it more of a number 3. And I'm really surprised that they're calling it a 4. But anyway, I am still using the 7mm hook. And I know I've put it on the long hook, you know, with a cord on it. I did that once, and it was just at the very beginning, like I started it with this hook, and then I went to this hook. For the knit stitch, this hook is, it's like borderline too short, and well, but as it goes on there and it bunches up, it's gonna, you know, as the bigger it gets, I think it's gonna be, definitely have to go to the longer hook, you know. But this bamboo doesn't work as smoothly as the metal, and it's not bad. And maybe I should run some, I think people told me wax paper on the bamboo, and it'll be smoother. I don't know, but I'm enjoying it, and I hope it turns out okay. We'll see. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? It's just yarn. If it doesn't turn out well, you just frog it and make something else, right? I don't have a problem with that, particularly since I'm learning something new. And I'm going to tell you, this is such nice, soft yarn. I love it. I have 3 skeins of this, or donuts, I guess that's what they call. I'll show you. Just don't let it fall apart. So I have 3 of these in this color. I don't know if I have, I mean, this was on clearance last year. I don't know if this was a color on clearance this year. Last year, it might have been just like dye lots or something that I got it on clearance for. This year, I think they just aren't going to sell that yarn anymore. I'm sad to say. So, oops, I got to keep my ball band. So anyway, I have 3 of those. And when I get done with 1 or 1.5 or something, then I will determine if I'm going to have enough of that particular color or if I'm going to need to add more color to it. If I need to add more color, I have several different colors that I can choose from that'll go with that color. You know, I can go into the reds or the purples or even gray. So I'm excited. I know my light, the sun is coming in and it's changing my lighting. So anyway, that's a finished object and a new project. I know. I have too many new projects. Today is Thursday and it's Nan's Next Knot's luck of the draw 4 color. She picked number 4. I haven't made it yet because I just got home and I ate and I helped my honey with the pool and I haven't had time to do it, but I did sneak a peek at what color it is, and all I could say is that I need more green. So if you're familiar with my new Nan's Next Knots, you'll get the gist of that. But I'm going to work on that tonight and get that done so that I can show you tomorrow. Then I can't remember, somebody posted something on YouTube and it said that this book, I got some happy mail. They said this book was on sale on Amazon. Regular, I think $25-ish, on sale for $12 or $12.99 or something. So I threw it in my shopping cart because I've always wanted to have the book. And it's an awesome book, 100 3D crochet squares. And I immediately went looking for the elephant. 100 squares. No elephant. Can you believe that? I was so shocked. I gotta sit up straight in front of the light there. Let me just close that. Hold on a second. Okay, that's better. So anyway, I know I was totally 110% shocked. There's 100 squares. There's all kinds of animals and really pretty patterns in here, really pretty squares. And you know, I love to make squares. Did you see that one? Egg beggar. Look at that. Oh, I don't want to show you the patterns or anything, but yeah, you can make a fried egg square. Fried egg on toast. How cute. That would be the cutest pot holder, right? Particularly for someone named Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming Laura. And they have llamas and they have animals and plants and mandalas, which I totally, don't you just totally love that? I could see lots of things out of that, actually. That could be a really pretty summer sweater, you know, granny square sweater. I could get into that. And then they also have in here, they did the one thing as a pot holder, but look at this cool. Let me show it to you. I'm going to show it to you sideways so you can't see the pattern because I don't want to fold my book up too bad. But, oh, here, there we go. There we go. Now you get a good look. They took this teapot and they turned it into a pin cushion for somebody that sews. How cool is that, right? So that's a teapot pin cushion, and they made coasters, which, you know, that's pretty simple to do. But they made a pillow out of some of them. Let me see if I can get that up there. You can see, you know, just put them together for a pillow, and they tell you how to do that. They did a towel topper out of some of them. Just to show you different ways to use the granny square. They made purses, a couple of different bags, but here's one. Kayla would like that, from Mama Llama Kayla. And this. So I have to make this. And you can use any of the squares you want. So I'm like loving that little jobby right there. I know there's an octagon shaped one of those kind of toys that they have out on YouTube, but I'm going to make the square because actually I think it'll be easier, and I have 100 different squares I can choose from, none of which happen to be an elephant. But I'm also going to say they have other animals in here, like this teddy bear. Okay, so why couldn't I make this teddy bear thing and just make the ears bare in gray? You know, kind of just shape the ears differently. And then I don't think making a trunk could be too difficult. I would want it flat anyway, so that, you know, if you give it to a child, it's not going to choke itself on a trunk if it's flat. And besides, who wants to lay on it if it's all puffy like that? So anyway, I got this book, and when I was shopping for that book, this book came up. It is called Tunisian Crochet in the Round. Now, I don't know if I need special hooks for this or what, but do you see that right there on the cover? Like, who doesn't need a blanket that looks like that? It's called the Counting Sheep Elephant Blanket, Elephant Heart Blanket or something, I don't know. These are supposed to be sheep that you're counting to go to sleep. I would just make this squares right here. Do 2 of each of those when I figure out how to do that. But there's lots of cool things in this book as well. I don't think it was on sale. I think I paid $12 or $13 for it. But it's got really nice pictures that teaches in graphs to teach you and show you what to do. But okay, look at that. I mean, What elephant lover does not need that? I need that. So I bought the book. And oh, it's an Annie's crochet book, by the way. So maybe Annie's has a video. I don't know. And then lastly, as far as books go, I was just about to place my order, and then somebody else posted, or maybe the same person, I don't know. This book was on sale. And this book does have an elephant in it. And it has a giraffe. Avery's favorite animal these days is the giraffe. So I'm going to have to crochet Avery a giraffe. And, you know, I've never crocheted myself an elephant. And there's 26 patterns in here. I don't know if there's pictures of all 26 like on an individual. Yeah. Yep. Let's see. And it goes into, you know, even what yarns to choose and everything. But these are the 26 animals in there. Now, I just purchased these things on Monday. So if you're at all interested, they might still be on sale. Totally love the 2 books, or 3 books. Then I watched a video not too long ago from Debbie, the Canadian Crocheter. I love Debbie. Don't you just love Debbie? So now she's, you know, moved further up into Canada and on a lake, and she's a busy girl these days, and she's not posting a great deal of videos, but I watch everyone, and she came out with a video, and this might help if I do this. She talked about that she bought a bead loom to make bracelets. You guys, many years, not like terribly many years, but maybe 5 years ago, we were in Myrtle Beach, and Roy bought me a beaded ankle bracelet, and I loved that thing. It was, I don't know, maybe this big, you know, as far as, you know, half an inch, and it was supposed to be hand beaded, and then it had and it was gold, like a goldish, real pale goldish color bead, or maybe it was even white, I don't know, and then a golder bead trim, and it had dangling beads on there as well. And I don't even remember how how it went on, what kind of clasp or anything like that, but I never took it off. Winter or summer, I wore that thing all the time. And then we went to Disney, and we were going to the water park, and I took it off. And I laid it with, I had all this other jewelry, and I put it there. I know I did, but I was afraid that it would get ripped off in the water park. So I left it. And when I came home, it was gone. Back to the hotel, I mean, I couldn't find it anywhere. I'm like, well, I thought I put it with these other, this other jewelry. All the other jewelry was there. That was gone. I searched everywhere. I couldn't find it. But I've always loved that. And I always thought, gosh, one day I would love to learn how to make that and make myself a new one. So, I saw Debbie's video. And I'm like, oh my goodness. She bought a bead loom, and she said she's looming this bracelet in a half an hour. I'm like, I need that in my life. So I went on Amazon and I bought it. This is, I'm pretty sure, the same one Debbie used. I will try to link her video if I can find which one it is. And I love it. I haven't used it yet. I just pulled it out. So then I went to Hobby Lobby because I knew it came with some beads, but I wasn't sure how many. And do you know those little tiny beads, those beads, come in many sizes. Like, who would think? But they do come in many sizes. So I went to, well, let me show you what it comes with. It comes with these, look at these little tiny beads. These, I think they call it an 18. The lower the number, the smaller, or the higher the number, the smaller the bead. That I have learned. So I have watched a YouTube video on how do you do this. And I will try to link that as well in case anybody is interested. Then it came with white ones, and it came with multicolored ones. Now that looks big there, but I'm telling you, in real life, teeny tiny. And it comes with the bead maker, the directions, and a graph. You could graph your own design. And these little jobs go at the ends. And then, so with that, you also get some thread, a bobbin of thread. And I don't know if it's a special thread, but I think it just looks like regular thread to me. Some, it says beading needles. I think they look like regular needles, and a bead, and a needle threader. I think that looks like regular needles. Nothing special as far as that goes. Now, the video that I watched, one video that I watched anyway, they talked about having special bead needles and they like separate and stuff. This is not that. But this is supposed to be everything to make one. I guess one. I don't know how many. I don't know how many enough beads come with that or not. So anyway, I went to Hobby Lobby and I bought, like I said, I didn't realize they came in so many different sizes, but I bought 12 beads that are 12. I don't know if you'll be able to get a focus on that. Okay, there, right there. See, it says 12. Well, and so I bought these beads. They're on sale, 50% off. So I bought this brass color, and I bought silver, metallic, and I bought, these are called crystal luster, and these are called seed beads. Now these look like monsters compared, let me show you these colored ones up against these silver ones, because you can see the silver ones I think pretty good. Well, they really don't look a whole much different, but they are. So anyway, I thought when I'm looking at all the different size beads, I went to the video, and the woman said she was using 11. And you could really see the size difference, I thought, between the 11s and the 12s. And I thought, it's not really that big of a difference in the size as far as making the, like making the loom, doing the loom. But seeing them, these ones seem like they would be easier to see, to put onto the needle. So I bought the bigger size. And then when I got home, and then I also bought this kind of, it's just clear, transparent tape, or thread. It looks like fishing line. It probably is. I don't know. I could probably use a thin fishing line and do the same thing. I don't know. I haven't opened it. I haven't felt what this feels like. But this is not, like, this looks like regular string, thread. Like not string, just thread, like you're going to sew with. And this looks like fishing line. So we'll see, because I'm going to practice. And then I bought these kind of clips to end them with. In the video that I watched, they used a toggle kind. These are not toggle. They didn't have toggle kind, so I bought this because that was the closest to like clamp it together at the end. Because that's how they do it in the video. These instructions, they didn't include any clamping, so maybe they just tie it. I don't know. I don't know really how it works. I don't know how Debbie was planning on closing hers, ending hers off, but it doesn't look like it's all that hard. And so I'm going to practice and see what happens. I don't know if that's going to go in my, learning new things videos, because it's not crochet. It's not yarn related, but I figure if I make one or two and I like them, then maybe I can figure out how to put beads dangling, and I can recreate the one that I lost, or recreate something similar. I didn't buy those kind of beads because I thought, I don't want to invest too much until I find out if I even enjoy doing it. according to Debbie, she was like, in an hour's time, you could definitely, even as a newbie, use the loom and make it a bracelet. Anklet would have to be a little bit longer. I hope this is long enough to make an anklet. I don't know. It would definitely make a bracelet. I didn't even think about that. But if I like it, they have bigger ones. And they have ones that are adjustable. They're more money. This one was, I'm pretty sure it was $10. And I'll show you the box, because I don't know how to link Amazon stuff. But it's called Beadsmith. And if you just go loom, beading loom or something like that, pops right up. It was the first one. So I did not buy any yarn when I was at Hobby Lobby. I know, shocking, right? But I didn't. It wasn't on sale. And at the Hobby Lobby I was at, they didn't have any clearance. So then I went over to Michael's, because I'm sorry to say, but Hobby Lobby's selection of colors and these beads in this size, and the little tinier and the smaller beads, they had a much larger selection, but you only could buy a tube about this big. And this was a better value to get the bigger ones, plus I could see them better. At least I think I can, but maybe it really doesn't matter, because, you know, maybe it just doesn't. I don't know. But anyway, I wanted to use this size, and they didn't have purple. She said she's having a hard time getting this size bead in all the different colors, but in the 11s, she's getting all kinds of colors. So I almost went to the 11s. But one tube wouldn't be big enough to make, like, of a solid color to make a bracelet. And the bracelet, the anklet that I want to reproduce, was, the whole body of it was one solid color. It had trim, like one row of beads on the outside of each side that was a different color. So there we go. It was very neutral in color, so you could wear it with anything, and I really liked that, because like I said, I never took it off. So anyway, then I went over to Michael's, and I thought maybe Michael's will have these beads in a bigger selection, or different colors or something. Michael's does not have, these are called seed beads. Michael's does not carry them anymore. He said maybe in the spring or summer they'll get them in again, but they don't carry them on a regular basis. All the beads that they had there. And they don't have any of these. I was very surprised. But I did buy something at Michael's. I bought one of these. I'm not going to tell you what it looks like. You can use your own imagination. But I thought this might work well for my donut. I haven't, let me cut the stuff out of it. They were regularly $15, and it was on clearance for $5. $15.99 actually, it says, was the regular price, but it was on clearance for $5. It was the only one they had in the clearance bin. I don't know how you get that. Oh, you just lift this up. Okay. Oh, it's got little feet stuck to the bottom. I didn't even notice that, so it doesn't slide around. I don't know why this would even come off. There must be a purpose for these little gadgets on it. I don't know what that would be, but I bought it because I was hoping, because you know these donuts, I love this. Oh, see, it's falling apart already. I love this yarn, but these donuts are a real pain in the rear end because they fall apart. So my thought was, if I put it on one of these, maybe it will be okay. So that's why I bought the thing. You're supposed to, it has a place for stitch markers here. And it says you can put your pattern in here. Like, I don't know how are you supposed to do that? I mean, do you see that little thing? Like, I don't understand how you put your pattern in there. Or, I don't get that. If anybody knows how that's supposed to work, let me know. And are these notches in here for any reason? There's not really, Oh, I see. You put your pattern in like, there's a picture on the back. You take your paper and push it down in there like so. So you, okay. All right, sure. It does give you some directions on the back. And there's a stitch like a little ruler. I don't know if you can see that. Let me take this off. Maybe then you can see. Yeah. Can you see the ruler embedded in there? It doesn't say why it has these. Unless you open it. Nope. Nothing on the inside. Keeps yarn clean. No rollaway balls. So, that's what I bought at Hobby Lobby. I mean, at Michael's. I did not buy any yarn there either. They did have yarn on sale. A couple of clearance. They had no sale yarn, just like on sale. But they did have, it's a wrap marked down 70% to $5. And I thought, well, wait a minute. I bought It's a Wrap for $5 at 50% off. Well, it said it was 70% off. And there was a thing on it that's, on the rack that said $9.99. And I remember it being $9.99. And I bought it at 50% off for $5. So 70% off would be $3. So I did put a few in my cart. And when I got to the register, she was telling me they're $5. And I'm like, no, there should be $3. $9.99, 70%. That's not hard math. And she says, the clearance price is $5. And I said, well, I don't understand. Aren't they 70% off? They were in the clearance 70% off rack. Well, the price of them now is $12, not $10. I'm like, oh, okay. I don't want to. Because I really don't need any more yarn. But for $3, I was going to buy them. I just saw Lisa from, oh goodness, I'll put her below. I watch her all the time now. I'm sorry, Lisa, your channel name is just escaping me. But she used a real fine 1 or 2 weight yarn and to make a baby blanket out of those kind of cakes. Stitch Studio, I think is, or maybe It's a Wrap. I'm not sure. I can't remember. And she combined it with just a white acrylic 4-weight. And it was beautiful. And then it didn't take her like 300 years to make the blanket because that yarn is so thin. That's the problem. The thin yarn makes beautiful stitch definition and beautiful, beautiful projects. But for me, it takes like 600 years to get one done. I started a wrap for myself in January, I think. You've seen it if you've been around for a while. I don't work on it often because I work on it for an hour and I finish one row. So the progress isn't there, and I tend to be one that wants the instant gratification of, oh, I got something done. I think that's why I like to do squares. So anyway, I didn't buy them. So I was really good. I only bought one yarny thing, and that's this. And I was very proud of myself for that. I was walking out of there saying, look, I didn't even buy any yarn. I went into 2 yarn stores and I didn't buy any yarn. And then I saw those cakes and I'm like, ooh, for $3, I can't pass those up. But they were $5 and I could pass them up at $5. So I was proud of myself for that too. Because last time when they were on sale for $5, I bought them. This time, no. So that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed my video. Please like, subscribe, share if you like, and come back for the next video, which might be tomorrow. I don't know. I got to get my Nan's Next Knots in because I know you're all dying to know what color it is. And Nan, all I'm going to tell you, Nan, next Thursday, pick another green number, okay? I don't know which ones they are. I randomly picked and put numbers on them, so it's not like 1 through 4 is red and 5 through 8 is green. That's not how it works. I just reached in. So anyway, this week it is a red number. And it's a new number. So it's a new color. I'm excited about that. And I will show you that as soon as it's done. And I will see you guys. It's getting like late. So I will see you in my next video. Have a totally awesome rest of your day. And thanks for watching. Bye.